Hello and welcome back. This is the final edition of Season 42 of All Access with the Profs. I'm Leo West, and making his return to Studio 2, it's Gerasimos Gervasiliou. Yuri, how was your time away from the show?
Honestly, Leo, I missed my seat here at the desk more than anything the world could offer me. I am so excited to be back for our season finale, especially since our Rowan Profs are ready to defy definition in the postseason. But before we get into all that, we got to tell you what's coming up. Skylar Sweeney tells us about baseball capturing the regular season title. Aiden Ray reports on the Penn relays. And wait a minute. Hold up a second. We got Jason Kelsey on the show? You do not want to lose access when our producers Logan Stewart and Stephen Wolchenski get to speak with the Eagles legend himself.
Baseball has looked great in the latter stages of the season, topping the national rankings as high as 5 along the way. With more from the Nest, it's Skylar Sweeney.
Rowan baseball put together a dominant stretch to close out the regular season, sweeping 2 doubleheaders and clinching the NJAC regular season title in the process. The Profs opened with an 11-1 win over NJCU, led by Jason Schooley and Damon Sirianni, as Rowan jumped ahead early and didn't look back. Game 2 was a 22-5 blowout, where Evan McCoach drove in 4 runs. Schooley homered again, and Rowan scored 18 straight runs. The win also marked head coach Mike Dixon's 700th career victory.
It's honestly, it's really about the kids, and it's about the memories I have with so many different players of 22 years in college baseball, 21 years in college baseball, 2006, okay? It's a long time.
Rowan carried that momentum into the William Patterson series, starting with a 1-0 shutout from Austin Cranehagen, who went the distance to clinch the conference title. In Game 2, Kevin Cole's 2-run homer in the 10th lifted the Profs to an 8-6 win to complete the sweep. With the sweep, Rowan finishes 29-5 overall and now turns its attention to the NJAC Championship as the top seed. I'm Skylar Sweeney with All Access with the Profs, sending it over to Mason.
Thanks, Skylar, and welcome back to Tape Talk. The Rowan baseball team is cruising into the NJAC tournament on a 6-game winning streak. Sophomore pitcher Austin Cranehagen threw a scoreless complete game on Sunday against William Patterson that ended up in a 1-0 victory. The Profs infield helped out Cranehagen with some timely playmaking throughout. How was Rowan able to capitalize on William Patterson's weak hits? Well, let's dive into the tape and find out. We're going to take a look at a couple of double plays. Again, these are routine plays for Rowan's infield, but there's a lot that has to go on and a lot of communication between the infielders in order to make these plays happen. You'll see in this situation, bottom of the 4th, 1 out. There's a runner on first base. This is a prime double play scenario for Rowan. They're looking to turn 2 and get out of this inning, and that's exactly what's going to occur here. You'll see as soon as this batter for William Patterson makes contact on this ball, this thing gets rocketed right into the ground, about right here, and it kind of pops into the air for a little bit. It'll dribble over to the shortstop, Brayton Davis, and you'll see this happens really quickly for Rowan's infield. Brayton Davis is going to secure this, and before he even does so, Joey Bogart, the second baseman for Rowan, notices the situation. He's aware that this runner is going to have to get the second base. There's a chance to turn 2, so he's already moving into the direction of second base. Brayton Davis is going to field this. He's going to rocket this over to second base. Bogart's going to get it, and then a great throw from Bogart beats the batter by about a step to help end the inning for Rowan. Here was a second double play for Rowan that helped Cranehagen get out of this bottom of the 7th without any damage. Cranehagen sends this pitch in, and immediately the batter's going to get some contact on it. This is going to be heading towards the left center area here, just to the left side of second base for Brayton Davis. This ball is going to hit about here on the mound. You know, on a mound like this, you're not exactly sure where the ball is going to be heading. Could easily change directions, but luckily for Brayton Davis, this ball kind of is just on the same line, just is going to dribble over to this area just left of second base. Davis does a good job of getting in front of it, making sure he squares up with the ball so he's easily able to bring it in. He flips this over to Bogart at second. Bogart fires it over to first base, and watch Cranehagen here on the mound. He knows it before the ball even gets over the next Struble, and he is fired up because the Profs got out of the 7th. That'll do it for this week's segment of Tape Talk here on All Access with the Profs. I've been your host, Mason Kenahan, and now let's send it back to the studio.
Thanks, Mason. It seems as if the Profs have been on the same wavelength around the horn as of late. Based on dominant performances in recent times, it would take multiple fire departments to cool down the Rowan softball team. As the Profs seek more victories and potential milestones, here's Jake Clark with your report.
Thanks, guys. Rowan softball completed its regular season over the past 2 weeks. Over the past few weeks, it has been very busy for the Profs softball team. Rowan traveled to Rutgers Camden and defeated the Scarlet Raptors in the doubleheader. The Profs took Game 1 by a final of 14-0 and won Game 2 4-0. In Game 2 of the doubleheader, senior Emily McCutcheon threw a no-hitter in the circle. For McCutcheon, the no-hitter was a historic feat, as it was the first time in her collegiate career recording no hits in a game that went 7 or more innings. After McCutcheon's great performance, the Profs played 2 out-of-conference games against Penn State Abington. Rowan defeated the Nittany Lions in both games of the 2-game set. The Profs won Game 1 3-2 and took Game 2 in 5 innings, winning 9-0. Rowan then played host to the Pioneers of William Patterson for a doubleheader. Rowan took care of business yet again, winning Game 1 by a score of 9-1 and taking Game 2 by a final of 3-0. Rowan softball's final 2 home games of the 2026 season were against the Rutgers Newark Scarlet Raiders. The Profs won both games as Rowan defeated Rutgers Newark 9-3 in Game 1, and the Profs bested the Scarlet Raiders 10-0 in Game 2. Yesterday, the Profs traveled up to Ramapo College to finish the regular season. Rowan took Game 1 of the doubleheader 6-3. The Profs and Roadrunners were tied 2-2 entering the 7th inning, with a 2 RBI single from Zara McNair and a 2 RBI double from Michaela Dansky gave the Profs the lead in the last frame. It was also a huge milestone for the program, as head coach Kim Wilson recorded her 1,000th win in her Rowan career. Even after the historic win, both teams still had one more game left to play. In Game 2, Rowan beat Ramapo by a final of 9-3. Sophomore Ava Fisher led the way at the plate, going 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs in the win. The Profs went on a great stretch of games to end the regular season, winning their last 16 straight. Rowan is now 33-7 on the regular season and has their sights set towards the NJAC tournament, where they've locked up the number 2 seed. The Profs will have a first-round bye and will host either Kane or Ramapo on Thursday, April 30th. From the Rowan University Softball Complex, I'm Jake Clark, sending it back to the studio.
Great work, Jake. Now shifting to lacrosse, the Profs have put together an impressive resume over this year. That's multiple wins over top 25 ranked teams, and that they have propelled the Profs to the 17th spot in the country. With the latest on Lax, it's Jordan Weisinger with more.
Thanks, guys. Since our last episode, the now 16th ranked Rowan Profs finished out its regular season. Kane on the 18th for Senior Day, Montclair State on the 22nd, and TCNJ, the highly anticipated matchup for first place, on the 25th. Let's get into what we missed. Rowan continued its hot streak and walloped Kane 20-8. Elena Corson broke the all-time scoring record in points at Rowan, passing Colleen Smith's previous record of 311. That has been held since 1995. Rowan would then take on the Redhawks on the road, winning 21-4. Rowan went into its game against TCNJ on a 10-game win streak, and as in other years, winning this game meant earning the highest seed in the NJAC playoffs. Undefeated versus undefeated in conference play ultimately went to the Lions. Rowan is off to a hot start, leading 3-1 after a quarter, but after a 10-0 run from TCNJ in the second and third quarter, the game was put away. Rowan fell 14-7 to the number 10 team in the country and will now take on Stockton on Wednesday at 4 p.m. in the NJAC semifinal. The Profs finished 13-3 for the season, and if it advances, they will face the winner of TCNJ Montclair State in what could be a rematch of the top 2 teams in all of the NJAC. From the Rowan Soccer and Lacrosse Complex, I'm Jordan Weisinger, and for my final time on All Access with the Profs, let's send it back to the studio.
Thanks, Jordan. If you look into a dictionary and see the word unstoppable, Rowan track and field may be its definition. With the latest on 2 teams destined to make national noise this spring, who else but Aiden Ray?
Thanks, guys. The Rowan men's and women's outdoor track and field teams both competed this weekend in multiple different events. Both teams participated in the Blue Jay Tune-Up in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, while the women's team was up at TCNJ for the Rick McCorkle Invitational, and the men's team participated in the Penn Relays at the legendary Franklin Field. Starting off with the men's team, he put up great results once again. Seth Clevenger turned in a school record in the 5K meters, which is his outdoor PR time as well. Jason Aguiman competed in the 110-meter hurdles final, clocking in at 14.26. Josh Cadill improved his #1 NJAC mark in the hammer, hitting a new PR and winning the event. A great job by the men's team. Moving over to the women's team, they picked up some personal bests. In the 800 meters, Allie Wernick moved up to #8 in the NJAC with a season best time. Maggie Michelette turned in a PR in the 1,500 meters, while Gabriella Pagano turned in a #4 NJAC time in the seeded heat. A great job by the women's team. Up next for both track and field teams, they'll compete up in Mahwah, New Jersey at Ramapo College in the NJAC Championships next Friday and Saturday. For one final time, this is Aiden Ray, your Rowan track and field reporter here on All Access with the Profs, and we will send it right back to the studio.
Thanks, Aiden. And, some great milestones, some great achievement from our Rowan athletes this spring semester, too. I mean, Kim Wilson reaching 1,000 Rowan managerial wins, not just in her career, just here at Rowan. That's incredible, too. Not to mention Mike Dixon as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kim Wilson, talk about Rowan royalty. I mean, just one of the greatest coaches of all time. She's been here for an eternity, but also delivering wins for that long. And then Mike Dixon, 700 over the course of his career, not just here at Rowan, but for him to also get those 700 wins just shows how elite these two programs are. And not to mention Elena Corson, what she was able to accomplish as well this spring.
I mean, winning DNA is what Rowan is made up of, too. And we're going to have some more of that winning DNA here on All Access with the Profs. But before that, calendar, we got the calendar segment with Owen, we got Around the NJAC, and we got Jason Kelsey coming up. But before we go to break, we have this.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires. Go Bird!
Neil, October City. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back to All Access with the Profs. I'm Gerasimus Gervasiliou. Alongside me is Leo West. And if you just looked at the little 10-second snippet we gave you, Jason Kelsey was on campus.
I know, that was a surreal experience, too. He was actually going to get there at 6 on time, but of course down in here in South Jersey, we got so much traffic that even legends are late too. So that was something that was fun too. But we also, both of us, were volunteers for the Kelsey event. We were both assisting with the parking situation for our VIPs, and I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we were throwing traffic cones around here and there, but if I'm not mistaken, Sam Prince maybe let him go a little bit. Actually, Jason Kelsey could have actually arrived even earlier. Sam Prince couldn't tell where Jason Kelsey's car was, so we'll have to talk to him about that at a later time. But, we all know Jason Kelsey. He played center for 13 seasons, but how about Owen Caldwell? He's always at the center of attention. It's now time to flip the calendar to its final page. Owen, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the calendar segment here on All Access with the Profs. I'm Owen Caldwell, and it's time for one last look across the Rowan Athletics calendar this spring. Here's what we have going on this upcoming week. The following information with the schedule is according to Rowan Athletics and the NJAC. It's NJAC championship season for baseball, softball, women's lacrosse, and men's and women's outdoor track and field. Because baseball and softball both received first-round byes in their respective tournaments, our first NJAC playoff game will come on Wednesday, as number 18 ranked women's lacrosse, according to the IWLCA, welcomes the Stockton Ospreys to Glassboro. According to the bracket, this game is a matchup of the 2 and 3 seeds in the conference, with Rowan being the 2 seed, and it is scheduled to get underway at 4 p.m. One day later, on Thursday, baseball and softball will participate in the NJAC semifinals. Both of these games are scheduled to be played here in Glassboro. According to the baseball bracket, Rowan, the number 1 seed in the conference and also ranked number 5 in the nation according to the latest D3Baseball.com poll, will play number 5 Rutgers Camden at 3 p.m. According to the softball bracket, Rowan, the number 2 seed in the conference and also ranked number 17 in the nation according to the NFCA, will face number 3 Kane, also at 3 p.m. That officially takes us into the month of May. There is currently nothing scheduled for Friday, so let's talk about Saturday. According to the bracket, if baseball wins on Thursday, the team will advance to a best-of-3 championship series. Also, if this series involves the Profs, it will be played in Glassboro, with Game 1 starting at 11:30 a.m. and Game 2 starting 30 minutes after Game 1. According to the softball bracket, if Rowan wins on Thursday, the team will also head to the championship series, which will also be a best-of-3. If Rowan advances, the Profs will either host the series or travel to Stockton. Game 1 is scheduled for 1 p.m., with Game 2 coming 20 minutes after Game 1. In any event, we will have to wait and see what happens on Thursday with both of these teams. Now, according to the women's lacrosse bracket, if Rowan wins in the semifinal matchup on Wednesday, the team will also participate in the NJAC Championship on Saturday, with the time, location, and opponent still to be determined. If this championship game involves the Profs, it will either be held here at Rowan University or at TCNJ. Finally, on this day, men's and women's outdoor track and field, with the men's team currently ranked 2nd in the nation in the USTF CCCA National Track and Field Rating Index, will head to Mahwah, New Jersey for the NJAC Championships, which are being held at Ramapo. This will get underway at 10 a.m. for both teams. Then on Sunday, baseball and softball will, according to Rowan Athletics in the NJAC, continue play in the NJAC Championship Series if necessary. Both of these do-or-die games, if they were to take place, are set to start at 1 p.m. As of right now, and men's and women's outdoor track and field will take part in Day 2 of the NJAC Championships from Mahwah, New Jersey, beginning at 10 a.m. once again. For my Game of the Week this week, I will be changing to Games of the Week because I'd like to feature all of these teams. Best of luck to all of the Profs competing in NJACs this week. Let's bring some more trophies back to Glassboro. In any event, thank you all for tuning into the calendar segment all semester long. I appreciate you all for sticking with me. Now let's send it to Primetime Preview for some more talk regarding NJAC play.
Thank you, Owen. The number 2 ranked softball team will play in the NJAC tournament semifinals on Thursday, April 30th against number 3 ranked Kane. And one of the reasons why this Profs team has been so dominant this season was, well, due to their pitching. Both Emily McCutcheon and Beth Van Doner have an ERA close to 1. And Mazzo, we talk about the pitching inside the circle. Is that the main reason why this team can go on a run?
Yes, they can, because when you saw why they went to the College World Series the last 3 years, they've done it with Riley Lutz and Emily McCutcheon, who are one of the best 1-2 punches in the entire country. And Beth Van Doder this season has filled that role with Riley Lutz so well this season. Like you said, pitching to a sub-near 1 ERA this season. But I want to talk more on the offensive side because Rowan has 8 players with at least 17 starts that are hitting 300 or better on the season. And one player that I want to point out is Ava Fisher. She's been tremendous this season for Rowan. 7 home runs, 36 RBIs, both lead the team, and also an OPS over 1,000 as well. So their offense is going to evolve around her for who she's been this entire season.
Yeah, also Ava Fisher also was in the circle some games this year. But you want to talk about this Profs team is starting a little shaky, but they went on that 16-game winning streak. And that 16-game winning streak, they actually were going to swept Kane. And in that series where they swept them, they only allowed 3 earned runs. And, well, look, I mean, what more can you ask for this pitching?
Well, you can't ask for more. You just got to continue to go out there and keep on dominating. And with the 16-game winning streak that the Profs are on, they are right now playing their best softball of the season, and they're getting hot at the right time going into the NJAC playoffs and beyond that, because with how successful as of a coach as Kim Wilson has been throughout her entire coaching career, she's not looking for another NJAC title. She's looking to try to get back to the College World Series and bring home a national title back to Glassboro.
Well, and most recently, she just got her 1,000th win against Ramapo last weekend. We talk about this, talk about these runs this Rowan softball team won the NJAC last year, and this is a team also a comeback. This is a team that has the experience, a younger team. Well, it may not be the explosive team with runs or anything. They may have to dominate, but they're averaging around 6.8 runs per game this year. And, well, on paper, well, when you watch the eye test compared to last year and the year before that, they were Mercing teams. They may not be Mercing teams, but they're still averaging close to 7 runs a game.
Well, that's why it feels different this year, is because of the freshmen and the sophomores that the Profs had this season. The last few seasons, they've had experienced players like Liz McCaffrey and Bree Bryant and Peyton McNair. Now you're dealing with players like Zoe Rogers, who've been playing very good, and some of these other players on offense who have been tremendous, Allie Rhyme as well. So, you know, the young talent is going to be fun to watch in these NJAC playoffs, and we're going to see how they deal with the lack of experience going into these NJAC playoffs and beyond that.
Well, you talk about someone like Allie Rhyme and some other players. What about Michaela Dansky, who's got the most stolen bases on the team?
37 stolen bases on the season. She's only been caught twice as well this season.
That's insane. Well, Mazzo, it's been a pleasure being alongside you this semester on Primetime Preview. But before the Profs can start their postseason campaign to try to get back their 4th straight College World Series, let's check out what's around the rest of the conference with Keegan on Around the NJAC.
Thank you, Sam. And before conference playoffs get underway, let's take one last look around the NJAC to see who the top seeds are, who are the underdogs after a grueling regular season as well. To find out, let's start with baseball. Number 5 Rowan secured a first-round bye and home field advantage throughout playoffs after clinching the regular season title this past weekend against William Patterson. Montclair State has the other bye, being the 2nd seed. But who will they play in semis? To find out, here are the quarterfinal matchups taking place this afternoon. 5th seed Rutgers Camden is on the road at 4th seed Ramapo. It's a lot of red up in Mawa, and the winner there was Rutgers Camden in an upset victory. Ryan Joseph scored 2 in the first, and in the 4th period, Gavin McCaffrey and Austin Doubler each had RBIs for the 4-0 win, an upset victory for the 5th seed. So they'll be taking on the Profs here at the Nest on Thursday. On the other side of things, 6th seed William Patterson is taking on currently 3rd seed Kane in Union, New Jersey. That matchup is currently a 3-2 lead for William Patterson, which would be a massive upset victory for them against a ranked opponent. It's the bottom of the 11th right now with Kane up to bat. So this means the winner of that has a date with Montclair State, which is also on Thursday. The highest remaining seed after the semifinals will host the other winner for the championship. A best-of-3 series with games 1 and 2 being played this Saturday, as mentioned by Owen Caldwell, and Game 3 being played on Sunday if indeed it's needed. Now let's look at softball. Stockton locked in as the 1st seed after capturing its first ever NJAC regular season title. So the Ospreys earned themselves a first-round bye. They're tops in the NJAC by strength of their doubleheader sweep over the reigning NJAC champions Rowan earlier this year, so they will have home field advantage for the duration of playoffs. And speaking of the Profs, they're locked in as the 2nd seed, also clinching a berth for the semifinals. Now for quarterfinals, it's 5th seed Montclair State at 4th seed TCNJ, where the winner has the privilege of facing a red-hot Stockton Ospreys unit in Galloway this Thursday. And the winner over there was TCNJ by a margin of 2-0. So that's the 4th seed advancing as they should be. It was 0-0 until the bottom of the 6th. Then Cameron Kitchen and Emily Evans both had RBI doubles to win the day for the Lions. On the other side of things, 6th seed Ramapo duking it out against Kane in Union, who are also the 3rd seed in the NJAC, much like their baseball counterparts. The winner over there was Kane in another short margin of victory, 3-2. It was tied up in the 4th by Ramapo, but then Kane took the lead back at the bottom of the 5th. Rylan Carey had a sac fly, and Brianna Ciuli scored the winner. So that takes their matchup over to the Profs at the softball field in 2 days, on Thursday again. Much like baseball, home field advantage for the finals will rest with the top seed remaining, and it's a best-of-3 series with Game 3 on Sunday if it's necessary. Rowan has a chance to win its third NJAC championship in as many years, but top seed Stockton is seeking its first ever NJAC championship. Doesn't get much better than that, folks, in the world of softball. Now, finally, let's go to Rowan lacrosse. The 17th seed in the national poll falls into second in the NJAC after number 18 TCNJ held the Profs scoreless across 2 quarters, the second and third of the regular season finale this past weekend. The Lions are once again regular season champs, with Marissa Luca scoring 7 over the Profs and earning a Division III Offensive Player of the Week nod from the IWLCA. Seeking their sweet 16th NJAC championship, 15 in a row, the Lions are sure playoff favorites. And their first game is this title defense game against Montclair at home tomorrow. Rowan, meanwhile, will host Stockton for the second time this year, also on Wednesday. In that regular season meeting, by the way, Rowan had to come back and win in the second half. Regardless, the question is, as it always has been, who, if anyone, can knock off TCNJ? Montclair does have a chance tomorrow, but it is most likely we will see a rematch in the finals between Rowan and TCNJ, with the Lions hosting in Ewing. The Lions, as of this past weekend, are 60-1 all-time against the Rowan Profs, with that lone win for Rowan coming 16 years ago, back in 2010, on the road to winning the NJAC championship. And anything can happen. Just like that, it's done. We're on to the playoffs. The Profs are among the top 2 in each playoff bracket this season, including baseball clinching the first seed. Good luck to all of them, as well as all of their opponents around the NJAC. I'm Keegan Thompson, and it's been a delight to host this segment this whole season. And thank you all so much for watching. Now, to highlight a key player for the Profs this week, Luke Brown has this week's Athlete of the Week.
Here with our All-Access Athlete of the Week this week after a complete game up at William Patterson, clinching the #1 seed in the NJAC tournament, Austin Cranhagen. Austin, thank you so much. And
for having me.
What allowed you to go 9 innings, 4 hits allowed, and you had a heck of a day here on Sunday afternoon?
Just my pure determination and just going after it on the mound. And all my practice and all my reps before that outing allowed me to go that far. So, yeah.
This is a team, as I just mentioned, that clinched the #1 seed in the NJAC tournament. Obviously has hopes of being back in Ohio for the College World Series. It's a long road to get there. How does this team get the job done?
Just by putting runs up and putting down some shutdown innings. It takes pitching and hitting to do both. So we'll do our jobs on the mound, and I know our offense will do our jobs in the field.
You have, at this point, become a complete game guy. Last year in the College World Series, do it again on Sunday in a big game. What does that coordination with head coach Mike Dixon look like to know that you're going to go 9 innings as opposed to 7 or 8?
Mainly just looking at where I'm at pitch count wise, and as well as what we need bullpen out of the bullpen. So saving arms out of the bullpen is obviously a big thing. So if I can go a complete game, that helps out with the bullpen.
Well, you will face the winner of Ramapo and Rutgers Camden, which is today. Find out that opponent by tonight. How does this team get prepared for Thursday's matchup in the NJAC semifinals?
Just keep on doing what we've been doing at practices, and we'll keep on doing everything that we've been doing.
Austin Cranhagen is your Athlete of the Week this week on All Access. Thanks, Austin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. A phenomenal performance from Austin Cranhagen to go 9 innings, a complete game. We saw him do that in the College World Series last year, and they're going to need more of that in the NJAC tournament as well this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, it's not the first time we've seen him do it. I mean, how spoiled are we as Prof fans to get to see these incredible performances, Gerasimos? I mean, softball ended their season on a 16-game win streak. Baseball clinched the first seed in the NJAC, and we got 2 managers who hit massive milestones, and not to mention lacrosse as well.
And, you know, we cannot forget about Rowan Women's Lacrosse.
No, we cannot.
You know, the rivalry now that's become TCNJ versus Rowan. But can Rowan make the final and maybe have a rematch against TCNJ? Do we think they can take them?
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and say it. I think Rowan Women's Lacrosse will beat TCNJ if both teams get to the final stage of the NJAC tournament, too. Look, they got a first look at them. They had some great opportunities. They didn't play their best, but I know they can play their best. And going into Ewing and ripping away that banner would be the ultimate moment of revenge for this lacrosse team.
I guess, you know, let them have the regular season title, but we'll take the tournament.
Exactly
Hopefully. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
But, you know, if there was only a way, we could still talk a little bit about Rowan softball for another minute. How about a magic trick? Here's Jacob Michaud with his final magic minute of the season.
Thank you very much, Gerasimos. Welcome back one last time for this season to my Magic Minute. Rowan softball may not be the #1 seed for the NJAC tournament season, but boy, are they coming into this tournament hot. They have won their last 16 games, and in that stretch, they have surrendered just 18 runs. And that is, of course, thanks to the pitching. After recording a loss against Stockton on March 31st, Emily McCutcheon dropped to 7-5 on the year. And mind you, she had never lost more than 2 games in a single season prior to that. But since then, she has gone 8-0 and has only allowed 2 earned runs in the entirety of April. And Beth Ann Doderer, she's right there behind her, also going 8-0 so far in April and only surrendering 7 runs across the plate. And let's not forget about those bats, folks. In April, Rowan has gotten no less than 6 hits in every game and have reached double digits in the hit department 8 times. That's going to be all for me this season. But real quick, just want to talk about the magic of the postseason. It's a wonderful time. We just had number 6 William Patterson beat Kane in baseball just moments ago. And who knows, like Leo was saying, we might see Rowan finally take down TCNJ. A lot to come in the playoffs. But that is going to do it for me this season. Let's hand the wand over to Jake Kitchen, who will take you through the world of professional sports. Take it away, Jake.
Tremendous job, as always, Jacob. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Weekly Sports News. It has been a busy past 2 weeks, so let's get right into the top stories. The first round of the NBA and NHL playoffs have been underway, so let's see what's been cooking up. For the NBA, only 1 sweep was secured, and it was the #1 seeded Oklahoma City Thunder knocking out the 8 seed Phoenix Suns. Not one of those 4 games was even close, as the Thunder won each game by an average margin of over 17 points. But speaking of 1 seeds in the East, the 1 seed Detroit Pistons are currently down 3-1 to the 8 seed Orlando Magic. There have been only 6 times an 8 seed has beaten a 1 seed in the NBA playoff history, with the last one coming in 2023 when the Miami Heat beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Could we see an 8 seed beat a 1 seed for the 7th time? Only time will tell. The last matchup I want to highlight for the NBA is the LA Lakers versus Houston Rockets series. The Lakers are currently up 3-1 and have a chance to close out the series tomorrow in LA. But the thing that I want to talk about the most is what we are seeing before our own eyes from LeBron James. He's leading this team without 2 of their best 3 players and is putting up splits of 22, 8, and 9 as a 41-year-old. If he is not the undisputed GOAT by now, what are we doing? Now switching over to the NHL, not 1, but 2 sweeps were completed in the first round. Both of them were 1 seeds beating the 4 seeds, with the Colorado Avalanche knocking out the LA Kings and then Carolina Hurricanes beating the Ottawa Senators. All the other series have been great so far, but the Battle of Pennsylvania has been the one to watch. 2 rivals meeting for the 8th time in playoffs have shown why this is one of the best rivalries in sports. The Philadelphia Flyers went up 3-0 on the Pittsburgh Penguins, but now the series is 3-2 with Game 6 being played in Philly tomorrow night. It's been scrappy. It's been relentless. It's been playoff hockey. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a show with these playoffs. Now let's move on to one of the best traditions in sports, the NFL Draft. 257 players' dreams came true between Thursday and Saturday. Let's recap on what transpired from those days. As we all knew, reigning Heisman Award winner and national champion Fernando Mendoza went first overall to the Las Vegas Raiders. A couple picks later, top-rated player in the NFL Combine, Arvell Reese, went 5th overall to the New York Football Giants. One of the wildest stories of the night came from wide receiver Mekhi Lemon, as the Pittsburgh Steelers gave him the call telling him he was going to be a Steeler, but then a few seconds later, the Philadelphia Eagles traded up and picked him. And finally, for one of the most heartwarming stories from the weekend, with the 251st pick, the Philadelphia Eagles took Uwar Bernard. Now, who is this, you might ask? Well, Uwar is a Nigerian-born defensive tackle who was part of the NFL International Player Pathway Program. Before 2023, he never played a lick of organized football, and here he is now on the big stage after getting drafted. Such an amazing story, and I'm sure he will be loved throughout his whole career. But wow, what a way to close out. Again, I am Jake Kitchen, and thank you all for joining me this semester. It was a blast giving you all the important updates from each week from the world of sports. I hope to see you all next semester, and for the final time, let's send it over to Gerasimos and Leo to sign us home.
Thanks, Jake. And that was excellent stuff right there, too. I mean, talk about the NHL playoffs. I mean, I have no dog in this race, but Flyers-Penguins, what an unbelievable series that has been. I mean, I've been on the edge of my seat for every single game so far.
It's a great series. I'm a little nervous as a Flyers fan that, they were up 3-0. I don't want, a comeback from 3-0 from the Penguins. I mean, come on. Out of all the teams, I do not want the Penguins to be the team to come back from 3-0, especially against the Flyers. I think they'll have it. I think they got it. They're going to have put together a great Game 6 performance, but we'll see, Leo.
Well, how about your other teams, Gerasimus?
Which teams?
The Sixers and the Union.
Oh, not this again. Oh, this is why I left the show for 3 weeks.
Well, you're about to leave the show for a whole semester.
Well, let me just say the Union did get a win. A win, but that's it. That's all we've gotten. They got a win, and now they're losing again. So.
Right. Well, what about the Sixers? How are they doing?
The Sixers, they're going to win 7 games. Don't fret, okay?
You heard it here first,
yeah, we got this.
Gentlemen.
The 76ers got this, folks, all right? Listen, I know it's 3-1, all right? You got to go one game at a time. You have your super soldier and Joel Embiid back. The Sixers, they got this. Well, don't be afraid.
I don't think they're afraid, too. I mean, they have the entire city of Philadelphia at their back. They also have Jason Kelce on their back, too. I mean, you showed them as the Sixers were playing their, I think it was their first or second game at the Jason Kelce event.
Well, Leo, let me ask you this. If you love the Rowan Profs, let me get a Go Profs.
Go Profs.
Now, if you're ready for Jason Kelce's all-access debut, let me get a Let's Go Profs.
Let's Go Profs. And now, without further ado, All Access presents an evening with Jason Kelce.
Please welcome Philadelphia icon, and now everybody shares in Jason Kelce.
On Tuesday, April 21st, Philadelphia Eagles legend and Super Bowl champion Jason Kelce visited Rowan University.
How we doing? So, have you ever been to Rowan University before? I have not. You've never been here? No. Well, welcome to Rowan University!
It was a warm welcome as before the event, Kelce visited the football team to offer some advice.
I miss playing every day, enjoy all this time. Like, honestly, I played in the NFL for 13 years, and some of my best memories were when I was in Cincinnati with my brother. We were very fortunate, won a lot of football games. Enjoy this time, fellas. It's awesome to be around your teammates in college. Like, you guys are young, having fun. Enjoy every second of it. Live it to the max. Have fun. Don't forget to do that. And I'm jealous of you guys.
Kelce then spoke with us about his career.
As a prominent sports figure, how do you stay yourself in an ever-evolving sports and media landscape?
How do you stay yourself? Well, you just try to, do what you're genuinely interested in, and try and just be who you are. I think there's times where, I think you're going to get pushed and pulled, and I think you can do all that, but also, do it in a way that you feel like is true to you. And I think that for the most part, my family has really tried to do that. And I think that's something that you're always trying to portray and make sure that you're being authentic with yourself. And then I think it comes across on the other side.
What was the transition like from player to personality? Was there anything interesting or shocking that stood out to you?
The thing that's shocking is that every game is an away game for me, right? So like every week when I played in the NFL, half the games are away, half the games are home. You're sleeping in your own bed. When you're working, you're on the road every single week, right? You're at the game site. For me, even if you're in the studio, you're going to that studio. And then on top of that, I watch more football, big picture-wise, than I ever did as a player. Like, there'd be times where I didn't know what was happening in the AFC. Like, I'm only focused on our game that week and what's happening in our conference. Now you really have to take in all of it. So you're taking in more content, watching more games, and putting in more research of what's happening holistically in the NFL, as opposed to really understanding a small minutia of what a center needs to know on game day.
It was a night filled with excitement, laughter, and Eagles chants inside Fleegert Concert Hall.
A big thanks to Logan Stewart and Steven Wolchenski. Excellent job all semester, not only in this great interview with Jason Kelce, but for this show, producing this show. But we got to talk a little bit about it, Lee. I mean, Jason Kelce, I know you're a Seahawks guy, but we can both agree, quite the football player, and quite the personality.
I mean, this guy knows the game inside and out, Gerasimos. I mean, if you wanted to pick a guy who's more qualified to be in front of a camera, other than us, probably Jason Kelce too. He can talk football for hours, and that's something that I didn't think I'd appreciate as much too. And I was really happy that Jason came to town and gave us a really good show.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing as well, I mean, I have to say this real fast, but I got up a little bit close with Kelce, but I got in Mike Quick. Mike Quick was at the event. I got in Mike Quick's car. He let me in his car for some reason because he didn't know where to park. So that was an interesting experience.
Yeah, a Rowan Hall of Famer and Mike Quick in the same car right there. I mean,
he is a Rowan Hall of Famer.
No, you're the Rowan Hall of Famer in this case.
Oh, thank you. That's big praise.
Well, as before we close out this show, as my final act as, I guess, main anchor, if you will, for this season, I think it's important to say thank you. And I want to say thank you to Logan and Steven for giving me this opportunity. I want to thank Jay Clark and Gerasimos for being great main anchors alongside with me. I want to say thank you to the entire cast and crew that we have had here. And most importantly, I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in every Tuesday and making sure that this show's on the air. So thank you for everything that you've been able to do for me and for Rowan Television Network and All Access with the Profs too. It's been one heck of a ride. And when I started here, I genuinely didn't think I'd be in the position I am today, and I'm thankful for all of it. And as we do here, one final time, thank you for watching All Access with the Profs, and as always,
Go Profs!